Welcome to Series 3, Episode 4 of the In Her Financial Shoes podcast. Welcome to the In Her Financial Shoes podcast with me, Catherine Morgan, founder of The Money Panel, helping you to get financially naked. Listen in each week where we talk about that taboo subject of money. Listen to brutally real-life stories, step into our guest shoes and be left feeling 100% confident and in control. Oh, and we hate financial jargon, so don't expect any here. Small steps, big wins, let's go. Hi everybody, so in today's podcast episode, I'm going to be talking about 3 money blocks that are holding you back in business. Now, the first way that money blocks might be holding you back in your business is if you are a giver. Now, having a giving relationship with money means that typically your first thought that when you have money is how you can use it to help others. Now, that could be your clients, it could be family, it could be friends. Now, there are many positive things about having a giving attitude, which aside from the obvious can mean that you wear your heart on your sleeve, and that can be hugely beneficial when attracting clients to work with you. But the flip side of this is that, and I see this particularly with women that I coach, is because they work and have very little or nothing to show for it because they're not charging enough or valuing their business enough. They may not be taking any profits from their business, or they find it really hard to price currently for what they are worth. Sound familiar? So let's think about pricing for a moment. If you're forever in burnout because you're not charging enough money in your business, then you yourself won't have the lifestyle that you need or deserve. Now, that means that you won't be working at your peak, and that means that you cannot serve your clients to the best of your ability or capacity. So if you're a natural giver, think about how you can give back to yourself. How about creating yourself a giving pot, giving some of the profit back to yourself? So that way, if your lifestyle is what you need it to be, you can better serve your clients, serve more people, and feel happier because you're giving them what they deserve, as well as looking after yourself and your own self-worth. Now, I can really resonate with this. Earlier this year, I was working with so many one-to-one clients that I was working back to back, sometimes with no time to even go to the bathroom, and I was feeling really, really overwhelmed and quite stressed. Now, I used to feel terrible when somebody contacted me who wanted to work with me and they didn't either have the money, for personal development, or because of their current situation, money was just really tight. So what I decided to do was design a few things that these particular ladies could do and could afford to do to work with me for free or for less than the price of a book each month. So this is one of the reasons why I created this podcast. And this is one of the reasons why I do lots of social media videos. Then I decided to launch out the Money Circle membership, which in actual fact is relaunching in September. I've had a few people actually email me asking me about when I'm going to be opening the doors to the low-cost Money Circle membership, and we will be really relaunching that again in September. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So that when, in the Money Circle, for example, women that come together collectively to learn about how to manage their money personally and in business, will cost them less than the price of a book every month. So think about how you could design different packages or ways for people to work with you for free or low cost. Perhaps consider writing a book or launching a podcast. That way you don't have to feel bad when you can't work with those clients on a one-to-one basis. Now, obviously launching these things will take time and energy and money to create, but then you can confidently charge more for your one-to-one work so that you can create more time in your business for yourself to create these services so that you can help more people. Now, the second money block that may be holding you back, maybe if you have a spontaneous relationship with money. Now, typically when you're spontaneous or impulsive in business, your first thought is all about enjoying the moment. Now, you'll know if you have this kind of relationship because maybe you buy lots of courses or lots of books without necessarily thinking about what value they may add, or maybe you just don't even get round to reading them or completing those courses. It might just be because you've got FOMO, fear of missing out. Does this one sound familiar? Now, often this also shows itself in business when you work with everybody and anybody because your fear of niching down potentially with a market, or because you just need to generate cash flow because you've not planned your finances correctly in advance. Now, this was me 10 years ago. I didn't plan for anything in my life. It was all about living for the moment. And the reason that I was like that was because I used money to try and fill a void in my life that was missing. Now, if this feels familiar, think about controlling your urges to spend by finding ways to help you manage that money. Now, perhaps that is only using cash to spend. So thinking about using the budgeting sort of envelope system, which if you haven't heard of, go back and listen to that episode in series 1 of the podcast. Or setting up a learning pot and only spending X amount per month on learning new stuff. Understanding what triggers you in the first place, or finding yourself an accountability partner to hold you accountable to not buying another course when you attend another event, can also be really useful. Now, the third money block that could be holding you back is if you are so focused on keeping expenses to a minimum to save a few pennies that you may not be investing enough in yourself to progress your business. Perhaps you've been in business for a while now and you're just feeling stuck. You can't grow, you can't scale. Perhaps you haven't increased your prices for 5 years because you're afraid that your clients will go elsewhere. This block is that money makes you feel so secure that you find it difficult to take risks. Does this one sound familiar? So one tip for all those security business owners out there is to assess the opportunities that you perhaps have passed up on. So have a think back about, what did you pass up on? What did you say no to that could actually have progressed your business? What impact would it have had if you were to be more courageous, more impulsive, or to take more risks? Focus on ways that could move you out of your comfort zone, because it's when you move out of your comfort zone that amazing things happen in your life and for your business. Now, remember that the world needs your services, so don't hold yourself back. So if this resonates with you, come on over to my free Facebook community. You can search in Facebook for Money Advice Expert for Women, or click on the Money Panel page and you'll find it at the top of the page, and share in the community what blocks are holding you back. Who knows, perhaps you can find yourself an accountability partner in there. So just before I go, I just wanted to share a couple of podcast reviews with you. The first one has come in from Kerry at First Wealth. Now, First Wealth is a financial planning organisation in London for financial planning practice. And I actually was one of the panel speakers for one of the events that they held called Let's Talk About Money. A fantastic event that was well supported, well attended, and really helps to demonstrate that First Wealth are going some places with actually helping women to understand their finances. So Kerry has actually put in a review and said, thank you for your input at the Let's Talk About Money event hosted by First Wealth. I looked up your podcast following the event and have really enjoyed listening to your previous series. So thank you so much, Kerry, for sharing that review. It's much appreciated. And the second one has come in. I can't see that the name is H11CD2. So whoever you are, this particular review has said, great listen. Catherine does a super show. I only recently found this podcast through her appearance on a different podcast and have gone through the episodes very quickly. It's interesting and informative, but with a laid back, no pressure style. I really recommend others listen and follow her advice. So thank you again, whoever H11CD2 you are. Honestly, it means a lot to me to get some lovely feedback. It's quite inspiring from my perspective to understand what you like, what you're enjoying about the podcast, because without having any listeners to the podcast, I wouldn't continue to run the show. So a massive, massive thank you to both Kerry and H11CD2 for your reviews. Thanks ever so much, and I really look forward to bringing the next episode to you next week.